Okay. Hey, what's up, guys? This is gonna be a fun episode. It's gonna be very artful. I think me and this special guest, we're about to paint the town red. Let's go. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Southern Flow Podcast. I am Loomis Brinks. Trey B is on some Southern Flow work right now. He's doing a top secret mission. I can't tell y'all, but Trey B's not here, but I'm holding it down for us. I'm here with a very special guest, Miss Sharon Lewis-Saliba. Yeah. Miss Sharon, can you introduce yourself to the people? Let the people know who you are. Where you from, and what field of creativity you're in.
Okay. I'm Sharon Lewis-Saliba. I'm a hyphenated Saliba. There's another Sharon Saliba in town. I grew up in Baldwin County, and I was in a little country town, and I loved growing up there, had wonderful friends there, but I was also bored to tears, which is why I joined the drama club really early. Yeah. And I went to South Alabama in Mobile, and I got a degree in art and theater there, and have always loved both, loved combining both. When I taught theater for the past 30-something years, I always did art. And then as it got more difficult to perform, to do shows,
Yes, ma'am.
Real estate's more expensive than ever, storage for things. So I just started doing art more full time.
Okay.
Then, of course, COVID hit and everybody quit on the same day. That happened.
Yes, ma'am.
But then now I'm starting to build it back up again. And I'm mainly doing art. And my classes are kind of an in general thing where we do a variety of art forms, a variety of art movements, study the most famous artists that are through a timeline.
Yes, ma'am.
And we work on skill building. And we throw in some seasonal crafts just for the fun of it, just to have a good time with it.
Yes, ma'am.
But I put in a little bit of history, so that kids know history and art and all of that is tied in together. And usually art reflected what was happening in the world.
Yes.
So I want them to know, okay, this movement happened because of this.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think it helps them kind of realize how important this is.
Yes.
Because sometimes, especially the artists that are at the front of a movement, really started our way of thinking. When a kid walks in wearing, say, a skateboard shirt,
Yes, ma'am.
with really bright colors and all that stuff, and then I'm going, we wouldn't have had that if we didn't have Warhol and all those other artists that did pop art and all that, and to study those.
My favorite art, by the way, pop art.
Right. But when you don't understand how fashion and architecture and everything is tied into art,
Yes, ma'am.
then I think you're missing out on it. You're not seeing how the sausage is made when you don't understand how everything is connected in our world.
Well, and that's been like my personal philosophy in the last 2 years. Is like I've learned that art is everything. Art is life. And it's been a very interesting journey, even up until the times of being able to meet you. So you talked about acting. Do you do any collaborations? And am I saying this right? SEACT?
SEACT.
Yes. Do you do any
That's our
collaborations?
local community theater.
Yes, ma'am.
I taught for SEACT for many years.
Oh, wow.
Their after-school program, I did plays that way, and a lot of summer camps. Me and the lovely Miss Eddie Farnham, who we lost just not too long ago.
Yes, ma'am.
We did summer camps every year, and now SEACT is growing. Some of my students are now participating in SEACT, and they're doing more competition things. One of my students, Brianna Lewis, is now one of the teachers there.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I'm old enough to see that come around. It's really great.
So what led you to be more community oriented, versus just, taking on art for yourself, just you have a lot of artists that, I just want my corner, I do my art, that's it. So what led you to be more community centered?
I think because I was a director and I became a theater teacher, I realized that kind of my superpower was creating curricula and teaching as much as it was doing those things. So being an artist, being a playwright, those are all art forms too, but sharing it with other people became kind of my mission in life, and I'm really glad I did, because with every new student, with every student that hangs with me year after year, and you see real improvement and you see accomplishments and awards come about, I mean, that's fantastic.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
mean,
I can imagine. So what would you say is the difference between teaching adults and then teaching the kids? What are like some of the biggest differences you'll see?
in the beginning, sometimes nothing. I used
It's
to
almost
tell
like you say.
I used to tell adults that were interested in theater, I would say, well, if the kids will let you in their class, and you had better learn from them, because they're the real teachers here.
Oh,
Kids
I love
learn
that.
it. You know what
Yes,
I'm
ma'am. Yes,
saying?
ma'am. And I truly believe that.
I said, because most of the kids I have are going to outact you, unless you're very naturally talented, and you know.
Most of the time, that was true.
And when a 9-year-old that had done so many plays with me in classes, did just about every community theater play we did, and some student taught play. I mean, their resume was 3 or 4 pages long.
Wow.
I mean, just in
This
acting.
is a kid.
Yeah, a 9-year-old.
Oh, wow.
And that same 9-year-old went on to like star in plays in his high school when he moved away from Dothan. So it's like, I had kids like that all the time that were just surprising me. I had kids that were in movies. My best stage manager went on to do sports casting, and she won an Oscar. So,
That's
I've done it.
amazing.
I've
Does
done
that go on your resume?
I'm going to claim it. Yes, and so proud.
Yes,
Just so
ma'am.
proud of them.
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
Anybody? I had one of my private acting students was in a Taraji P. Henson movie.
Okay.
Idris Elba was in that. He played the bad guy in that movie.
Okay. I'm familiar with. I do not.
Now
That's
she's
horrible.
like
I don't know that.
she's like a senior. I think a senior in high school, and she's a pageant queen, and she's like accomplishing all these
She's
great
building
things.
up. She's building the
Yes,
portfolio.
Yes.
Amazing. So, do you think in the space, like, once kids grow up and they become, young adults, teenagers, kind of smelling themselves now, do they tend to express themselves, differently? Just from coming from, like 9-year-old coming up, 15, 16-year-olds.
I think in the beginning I can mold them.
Okay.
A lot of times as teenagers, if they come to me later and start joining my program, then they already have very strong opinions about what type of art they want to do, what kind of plays they want to do, that kind of stuff. So they listen to me less.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is a typical teenager thing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But you can really tell people that are hungry for it and they're open to a lot of ideas, because I believe as an actor and an artist, you absolutely have to be open to as many teachers. And sometimes you'll learn the good side, and sometimes you'll learn what you don't want to do.
Yes, ma'am.
I totally disagreed with that director or that art teacher. So
And that's fair, right? That's fair too.
absolutely
Yes,
it
ma'am.
is. And you should question just about everything.
Yes,
If you're
ma'am.
questioning, then you have an open mind. And I also have a tendency, I can have kids that are with me when they're really young, and then they hit about 12 and 13 years old, and they decide that social life is more important than those classes 3 or 4 days a week. Almost all kids go through that.
Yes.
And I
takes-
understand that they do that.
Right. Right. I mean, but there can still be the lower percentage is going to stay true to the art.
Yes, and
Okay.
there's a lot of people that will return to it. they'll either return to it or return to something in the arts, and they will use what they learned. Like I've had people
You
come
never get away from it.
Right, right. But I've had people come up to me, like I think one of the most touching things that ever happened to me
Yes, ma'am.
was a soldier came up to me and said, "Do you remember me?" And I said, "No, you probably have changed a lot. When did I teach you?" He was 9 or 10 years old,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And he said, "I'm a soldier now, and I take care of other soldiers. I advise them." He said, "But one thing your theater program told me is not to bellyache about my job, to be on time, to be thorough, to make lists, and that I am responsible for taking care of my costume, my prop. If I don't check it and it's wrong, it's my fault."
Yes.
And and I'm in tears going, "Oh no, I got." So you get those moments once in a while when people say, and one of my taglines is, theater skills are life skills.
Yes, ma'am.
Because
Oh, wow.
I believe if it teaches you to be a team player, people think people in sports are team players. No,
Theater requires teamwork.
theater is big time teamwork. So what was your question? I keep talking and I forget.
No. You answered it. We were just saying, just those differences between, the youth, going into teenagers and, and as you mentioned, sometimes you do come across a little bit of the rebellion in this.
Yeah.
And then what's beautiful is, even when you tend to leave a thing, somehow you find your way back to it. Yeah.
Right.
That's what I pulled from that.
I've written a lot of college and scholarship letters for people, and they've gotten a lot of them. And
you talked about working with the elderly.
yes, there's quite a few senior citizens that are in my classes. There's a watercolor class I do that people enjoy.
Yes, ma'am.
I've recently lost most of my students in that class because they either bought an RV and they're traveling around the country. Same with some of my homeschoolers.
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
like everybody's on vacation
Yes,
and
ma'am.
they haven't come back yet. So I'm hoping that they do and they start class again.
Yes, ma'am. And I imagine that's very therapeutic.
Absolutely.
For the elders. What does that look like, in terms of like when you're working with the elders,
Well,
there?
Number one, I teach in 2 different places.
Mm-hmm.
I teach at my home, which is Greenhouse Art Studio.
Okay.
And it's not because it's plants. It's because it's a big greenhouse.
Okay.
Green is my favorite color.
Yes,
so I called it Greenhouse Art Studio. And I teach there. And that's what you have, a schedule that has a lot of classes.
Yep.
Most of them have not made.
Yes, ma'am.
Some have.
Okay.
Some, like I said, some of those people leave and then they return again and they say, "Can I start watercolors again?" I say, "Absolutely." But what it looks like is people painting, artists talking to each other, especially when I have more than one adult in a class.
Yes.
They are talking and encouraging and borrowing supplies from each other and insisting that you try this pen or that,
Yes, ma'am.
or look at this new watercolor book I have. That's kind of the difference between kids and adults.
Okay.
The kids just come in and they're listening for the instructions to start,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And they're listening for corrections, that kind of thing. The adults, I just let them spin ever how they want to go. They tell me what they want to work on. A lot of them bring their own supplies because they understand that getting into an art form is starting to invest into supplies and books and training and that kind of stuff.
And you mentioned, getting into an art form. A lot of times adults, especially those who weren't like who may not have had the accessibility to say, or some sense, a lot of times adults are like, well, I'm not an artist, or I can't draw, or or some sense.
Every day.
How do you address that? When you come into
when people say I can't draw a stick figure, right? I hear it almost daily.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, and my answer is always, I have about a dozen projects right now at my house.
Mm-hmm.
You can go there, take a class with me, and you will enjoy it, and you will be proud of the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like that one as much, we'll try a different
another
one
one.
next week. And eventually we will hit on what you enjoy. There's a lot of artwork that I'm okay at.
Right.
And would probably improve if I wanted to.
You just was stuck with that one.
Yeah, but I don't like it. I don't want to do it. I'm not good at it. I don't like it. I want to try the next thing. And then you hit on that one thing and you go, this is what I stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning doing. And I should go to sleep.
Yes, ma'am.
So I can teach class the next day. But that everybody I work with that really has an open mind, they will find something they love to do eventually.
So what is the greenhouse art studio like? What is that environment like? Like what's the vibe? What's the vibe in the greenhouse?
It's my kitchen.
It's the kitchen. Okay.
Ella Fitzgerald is usually singing, or Disney.
Okay.
There's coffee.
Okay.
Water bottles.
Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes people bring cookies.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
You never
Gotta
know
bring your
what's going to
snacks.
happen like that. Yeah, I love to do seasonal snacks
Yes,
and
ma'am.
stuff like that. It's very relaxed. It is very no pressure. It is so much fun. And there's kids that, I don't want to leave. I don't want to go.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I stay? Can I stay? I said, no, honey, I got to cook supper. Sorry. I would much rather paint with you than to cook supper anytime.
Yes, ma'am.
But the family's going to rebel if I don't kick y'all out
Yes, ma'am.
at the end of class.
And then tell us about the art circle at Westgate.
At Westgate.
Now, what is that like?
yes.
What is that? Who is this space for?
It's for kids and adults.
Okay.
Right now, the classes I have ongoing is a Monday class and a Wednesday class, and you can take either or. And I like having 2 classes on that schedule because if you miss the Monday class, you can make up on Wednesday.
Yes, ma'am.
Same curriculum. Everybody's doing the same thing, so you could make up if you miss a class, right? And I also do that if I have major holidays. I feel like if somebody pays for 4 classes, they ought to get 4 classes.
Yes, ma'am.
So I give them a lot of chances to do makeups if they have to miss. Like I have 2 of my best art people are doing basketball right now. And a lot of times they have missed class. So I'm hoping that they can make up some.
And so the sessions, are they, is this like quarterly? Are they year round?
You actually have to sign up for the Westgate classes every month.
Every month. Okay, sign up every month.
And
then-
sometimes they'll let you go in. The website for the city is crazy sometimes. It's
Yes,
a little
ma'am.
confusing, but I do hope people pursue it.
Yes, ma'am.
You go to dothanleisureservices.org and you look for the spring program guide or winter program, whatever it says. And soon we have summer program guide coming up.
Okay.
And that's when I really see new kids.
Yes, ma'am.
A lot of my regular students attend a camp, which is a week long, like Monday through Thursday, and they can take in the morning or the afternoon. And those camps are awesome too because it's all about the theme. It's all about having fun. It's about snack time and talking to your new classmates.
Is it one theme like for that summer, or is it you change up the themes like every week or so?
It's every week. Look at this.
Every week.
Look at this schedule right there. You can
as we
see
see.
the
Okay.
themes I have. And every year I come up with new themes. Sometimes I recycle some ideas, but it's almost all new things. I'm loving that I'm putting in modern art this year because even though the kids in my class, if you're with me on the second year, usually you're going to get modern art.
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
get up to that time frame, right? But there's so many cool modern art projects that I'd love to do.
Yes,
and we're
ma'am.
going to do jungle life, the art of Wales. We always do a country.
Art of Wales.
And I am obsessed with Great Britain.
Okay.
And, and
So you love the
UK.
scenery and all.
I mean, can you imagine the beautiful coastal type paintings we
Yes.
can do, landscapes, seascapes,
And you have
and
like
mountains.
some of the kids can draw these.
They'll draw them, they'll paint them, we'll make paper collages, we'll do all kinds of
All
stuff.
sorts.
And Wales is known for castles, dragons,
All
so
the cathedrals and
people could create their own family crest. Wouldn't that be neat?
oh,
That's got to
very,
be
yeah.
something.
Now I love that. I love
Isn't
that
that
idea.
great? I
Yes,
know,
love,
I know.
I love that
So
idea.
we're going to be making probably 3D castles.
Wow.
out of cardboard, and we will paint them, and we will add things to them. And then we have splatters, and blobs, which is one of my action painting.
Are we making a mess?
Oh God, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be a real mess.
Yes.
But can you imagine all the cool things? There's so many things from Jackson Pollock, who loved to just sling paint at huge canvases. We've done that several times in different ways, different sizes in class already. We're gonna definitely do it that. Water balloons filled with paint. I mean,
Oh, wow.
squirt guns. I mean,
That is, you've just given me some ideas. Yeah.
there's a hilarious one. I'm going to use it in the preschool camp also. First year I'm offering preschool. But you tie like a stocking to a baby's head with a sponge in the they have to dunk their head down on the canvas on the
Well.
floor.
That's cool.
Yeah, we're going to do that on the splats one.
I'm going
And
to
then-
take my baby boy in.
Oh, won't that be funny? And I'm going to have to tell the parents, I'm sorry if they're going to be covered head to toe.
He'll be
in
okay.
paint.
He'll be okay. He'll be okay.
And because it's our 250th birthday this year, right?
Oh, wow. So we got to do it big.
Yeah, Art Americana.
Art Americana.
Now, when you say that to people, Americana art could be anything. It can be the traditional baseball, apple pie, Cracker Jacks, Statue of Liberty, right? The American flag.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to do all that too and have some really good. My student Eva said, which camp is going to have the best food? She doesn't care about the art.
She just wants some good
She wants the
food.
food. I said, well, we'll have to have hot dogs
Yeah, you-
and apple
Just
pie.
got to come to all of
She
them.
says, I'm there. So we will do really great art Americana and all kinds
Yes,
of
ma'am.
cool symbolism and stuff. And then road trip, which I've always been fascinated by, the great big ball of yarn. We may have to make our own version, right? All the roadside attractions, even right here in Alabama, we have great roadside attractions. And then, of course, all the way out in Nevada and California and all that, there's all kinds of cool places to go.
Yes, ma'am.
And the preschool art camp, I honestly can't tell you everything we're going to do for that camp, but every day we're going to have fun.
It's going to be some fun.
It's going to be fun. And Art of the Shoshone, we always do a Native American camp, and we learn the differences between those different tribes and
tribes, okay.
nations. And to me, it's just kind of honoring our background, and I love the artwork.
Yes,
you
ma'am.
know, a lot of people, kids always think that the world started the day they were born or the day they became aware.
Right.
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 And what they don't realize is that a lot of the art that you see every day is built on hundreds, if not thousands of years of artists.
Right.
And to see that coming down the timeline is just really fascinating.
That's beautiful.
Very eye-opening
Yes.
sometimes. So I love to do Native
Yes.
American art.
Yes.
And the Shoshone is a very interesting tribe, very interesting.
Yes, ma'am.
And then Scenes from the Shore, I almost always do a camp, something that is ocean, beach related, because there's just so many, just the time of year it is,
Yes, ma'am.
you know? So that is my summer camps.
Okay.
I'm excited
That
about them.
sounds awesome. As we trickle down into the last few minutes, I do want to know if there's someone, you know, who wants to get into art. They don't know where to start. Like, what would you?
They can call me. That phone number, 334-701-5449. I will talk to anybody that is interested in art.
Do you utilize? What about social media? Do you care
Yep.
if people reach out to you via social media?
Greenhouse Art Studio has its own page. We're working on putting the Art Circle on its own page. I believe that's coming up. My friend Marissa is helping me with that. And you can find me on Facebook, Sharon Lewis-Saliba. And I'm always posting everything that I have coming up.
Yes, ma'am.
Like during, unfortunately, the Mardi Gras parade, which I have a party at my house, was on the same day as Valentine's. Otherwise, I usually do a big Valentine's thing. I have couples coming in
Okay.
doing guided canvas workshops. Lately, I'm into beading,
Oh.
which I absolutely love. And I make, because I'm a horrible gardener.
Yes, ma'am.
I kill every plant that you give me.
It
But
gets better with consistency.
yeah, I found out that beaded plants don't even need water.
Okay.
So I can make a potted plant out of beads.
Yeah.
And I can teach people how to do that.
Okay, that's very cool.
And I thought that would be a very cool Valentine's Day
Yeah.
thing. And I do stuff like that for birthdays, Galentine's, gals nights out. I've
Okay.
done that, corporate workshops. Soon I'll be able to get back in my garage, I'm hoping. I do acrylic pour workshops. That's where you layer paint in a cup and you dump it on a canvas and it rolls off and you see what you've made.
Oh, you don't curate the
You can
acrylic.
tilt it,
Oh,
make it,
just tilt it.
cover it.
Ah.
But no, you're not painting with a paintbrush or anything. You're letting the paint do the work.
Wow.
And I can do that with 3-year-olds right up to 99-year-olds, and I've done it.
Yeah.
I have done it. All kinds of workshops, family groups, corporate workshops, that kind of stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
And they have done acrylic pours, and all of them can do it with just a little help. I can guide them, and it's funny, by the time they do their third, they know exactly what colors they're going to do. They know how to manipulate it. We set that all up, and everybody comes. And some of your favorite ones is from the little guys or
Right.
the people that never thought they could do anything.
Yeah.
They can do acrylic pour.
Yes. That sounds exciting. So is there anything we always like for our guests to, is there something that you want to verbalize, share out to the world? Is there, a thought, something that you just wanted to speak out, just get out to the people? A word to the people.
A word to the people. Yes. Well, I can say that when I met you, I was excited.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
it wasn't just because you were a fellow creative.
Yes, ma'am.
That is exciting to me.
Yes, ma'am.
But the fact that you are a creative that also fights for the arts and you push for it every single day.
Yes, ma'am.
You're rare.
We
Like
captured
in
all
this
that.
area.
Yes, ma'am.
But besides meeting a fellow creative that fights for the arts, that's very exciting to me because the arts struggle in this area.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe all across the South, maybe all across this country.
Yes, ma'am.
I feel like sports gets all the attention. It's traditional, it's
Yeah.
fun. Don't get me wrong, I think sports are great.
Yeah.
But what is happening is with year-round ball and lots more of the seasons that come up with different things. I used to lose kids for half the year. I'd have them for half the year in
Due to the
theater or
sports.
art, and now the other half they would go to sports, and I was fine with that. But now when you see an 11, 12-year-old with a stress fracture or a bad shoulder because all he does is throw for 12 months out of the year,
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's wrong.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe every artist needs to move a little bit, and every athlete needs to be creative a little bit.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And what I want to ask of your audience is, please sign up.
Yep.
These art programs, you think they will always be there. They won't be. They might not be. I'm in my early 60s. I hope my health holds up. I don't want to retire. I hope I get to work at least a dozen more years. Who knows? But when the fighters for the arts go away, and you might not even notice, will go out with a whimper. It's sad. And then all of a sudden they're not there anymore when you want them to be there.
Right.
They're not there.
Right.
And so if you, and what I tell like my business people when I go to business luncheons or something like that, I say, the people that are moving industry into this area, what are they looking at?
Yes, ma'am.
Schools, arts programs, what's available?
Right.
And when they don't see what they're looking for, what they're used to in that big city they're
Right.
coming out of, they might go, I don't know if I
Not
want to
their
move to
time.
Dothan.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
It seems kind of shallow. It's not what I want to do. My kids need a lot more than just sports.
Yeah, just the
So-
traditional ways of things.
And I want to tell adults this. Adults are the hardest on themselves. They just are. They let life get in the way.
Yep.
They sacrifice that money to go to something else and not on them. And if you ask most adults, what do you regret in life? They'll say, I regret giving up that art form. I didn't stick with piano or the guitar or art. I didn't do something that I really wanted to do, and I was okay with it, and it gave me such joy, but I just quit. Why did you quit? Somebody criticized one thing you did? You would not let your kids get away with that.
Right.
You said, nope, we're going to power through. We're going
Right.
to keep trying. We're
Right.
going to keep taking lessons, keep training. We're going to keep going on. Well, adults need to do that for themselves.
Yes, ma'am.
They absolutely do. Every adult gets to the age where they need a piddling project.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I might learn how to garden for mine. I don't know. Or cook, because I'm not good at that either.
Yes, ma'am.
But every adult will find something later on.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm telling you, don't wait. You've got inexpensive people that are encouraging you to be creative right now.
Right now.
Sign up. Make
Yes.
sure those programs thrive.
Yes.
Sign your children and your grandchildren up.
Yes.
You
And
know.
yourself.
And yourself.
Yes. Yes.
And get to it.
That's art on the circle.
The art circle is at Westgate.
The art circle is at Westgate. And
It's
then Miss
at
Sharon
the-
offers. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead with that.
It's at the Trail Building.
The Trail Building.
Which is a little tiny red brick building. If you're standing in front of Waterworld, look across the street and you will see the Trail Building. It's a little red brick building.
And then we have the Greenhouse of Arts.
Art Studio.
Art Studio.
Yes, and that's at 300 Virginia Drive.
Yes. So make sure that you reach out to Miss Sharon. She's provided you guys with her contact information, her social media information. We're just greatly appreciative for you to come on, sit on the Southern Flow podcast, and just share perspective. You know, we're big about, encouraging people to go out, and, my thing is take a bite out of life.
There you
Because
go.
if you were to ever find your flavor, how would you know if you never go take a bite?
That's right.
And so that's what it's about, just encouraging people. It's never too late. If you woke up today, that means it's an opportunity to make it happen right now. So, Miss Sharon, we just want to appreciate you for coming on to this episode, coming onto the platform. We appreciate you guys for listening in, tuning in. We ask that you continue to like, share, subscribe, and just, let us know, what you want to talk about, what you want to hear. Let us know who you want to bring on next. But you guys make sure that you tap in with Miss Sharon, and we will see you on the next episode. Peace.